And welcome, sports fans, to today's roundtable. And we're about done with the fall season for high school athletics. We'll be in the semifinal round of the football playoffs today in Missouri, and we'll be wrapping up that season next week over Thanksgiving weekend, and from there going into the winter sports season. So making the transition here over the next week or so into the winter sports season. And we'll preview those football games coming up today in the semifinal round. The winners move on to the state championships next Saturday in the Dome in St. Louis. So we'll be previewing those here in just a moment. And also we'll touch on a couple interviews that we've done over the past few days. We've got Chase Young from Dexter. He has signed with University of Tennessee Martin to play college baseball next year, and we'll have a segment with him and Coach Brian Becker of Dexter. And also from our game last night, which we'll get to in a moment, Coach David Reynolds of the Pickett basketball team. We talked with him last night after their victory over Cross County, talked about their season coming up there in Pickett. So we've got a few interviews to get to, and also later on in the show, we have a development that we've been working on online here at YHC and with other contributors, and we'll talk about that development that is now launched online. So we'll talk about that at the end of our program. Should be a great addition to our features here at YHC and with Southeast Missouri Sports Online. So look forward to that at the latter part of our program. And let's go ahead and take a look at some scores over the past few days here in our area. And let's take a look at Pickett and Cross County from last night. Pickett defeated Cross County 79-48 in that contest last night. Originally had Osceola on the schedule, but Osceola is still in the playoffs there in Arkansas in football, so they scheduled Cross County last second. And we'll be replaying that today at noon and 6:30 through the weekend there between Pickett and Cross County. We were live last night from Pickett. Had a good time down there in the Pickett High School gymnasium for that game last night. And in other games, we've got in the middle school tournament, the Boot Hill middle school tournament in the 8th grade. It was Kennett defeating Sykeston 49-42 in that middle school tournament. And also in the 7th grade, boys, we've got Sykeston over Kennett 56-40. And also in the girls, we've got Kennett over Portageville 43-23 in the 8th grade. And for the 7th grade, Kennett over Zenith Hornersville 29-23. And those are the championship games of that middle school tournament. And that's pretty much all the scores we have in the past week. Not a whole lot to report on. Like I said, we're in transition, so not a whole lot to report on at the high school level at this time. Now let's take a look at those matchups for high school football for today. And starting out with Class 1, we've got Valley Catholic and Tipton. And Valley Catholic are the defending Class 1 champions in the state of Missouri. They'll take on Tipton today in the semifinals. Also, Penny will take on Salisbury in the other semifinal. Crothersville is traveling to Lamar. Lamar are the defending Class 2 state champions, looking very good at this point. Tough test for the Crothersville Tigers, taking on Lamar today. Also in the other semifinal, Blair Oaks taking on Holden. And in Class 3, John Burroughs taking on Manette, and California taking on Maryville. In Class 4, St. Mary's taking on Webb City, the top-ranked team in Class 4, and Helias. Jeff City Helias taking on Harrisonville. In Class 5, Rockwood Summit taking on Parkway Central, and Ozark taking on Fort Osage. And those are our matchups today in the semifinal round of the Missouri High School Football Playoffs. So we'll be looking forward to how that turns out today. The winners moving on to play in the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis in the state championships next Saturday. So only a week left in the football season here for the state of Missouri. And we'll actually now we're going to take a look at that David Reynolds interview, talking about the Pickett and Cross County game last night, and also talking about the upcoming Pickett season for basketball. So let's take a look.
And we're along with Piggott coach David Reynolds after a big win by over Cross County here in Piggott. And David, I believe this is your second game into the season now?
Yeah, we went and played Gosnell, a big 4A school, and kind of took our lumps. But I think we got a little better than that.
Yeah, and you're probably without all of your roster last week as well. Is that right?
Well, we were with our full roster, but we only had 2 practices coming in, so it was tough.
That football bleeds into basketball quite a bit here in Arkansas.
Yeah, anytime you're in a small school like we are, it's tough to have both athletes doing the same thing.
Sure, and you're in your first year here at Piggott. You're at Richland last year up in southeast Missouri, so a little bit of transition coming down to Arkansas.
Yeah, it's a little different style of play. In Missouri, they let you get away with things and a little harder pressure, man-to-man defense, physical. And I'm trying to do that here, so we'll see how it goes.
Sure. And a lot of up and down tonight between you two, Cross County and Piggott. It was up and down for quite a bit of that game.
Yeah, I enjoy the fast pace. I don't like boring basketball, so we're gonna try to push. But in our conference, you got Earl and Osceola, and that's tough to do. So we got to pick and choose our chances.
Yeah, your big guys did well tonight. You had Grubb and Brewer getting upward to that 17, 15 points for each one of those. So your big guys showed up and did well tonight.
Yeah, and they ran the floor well. That's the thing. I tried to get them just to run straight to the basket and get a layup. And our defensive intensity really got them layups tonight.
Sure. And Will Jett out front, he's making things happen, getting the ball up the court quickly, shooting the ball well. And your Murray boys shooting the ball quite well as well.
Yeah, you got the 2 Murray boys. They're solid. And then Will, he'll kind of go crazy on you sometimes, but he's a good player if I can just get him under control.
Sure. Well, you like the aggressiveness anyways.
I love it. I love it.
Right. So looking at your season, it's you got the season. Who have you got coming up in your schedule?
On Tuesday, we go to Corning or open up the 3A3 conference with Corning. Then the week after Thanksgiving, we're going to go to Cooter for the Cooter Invitational. So we got a little bit of a break, open up conference, then a couple tournaments.
Okay, so a long season still yet to go here in basketball, and you're in the 3A3, always competitive. It crosses over from football to basketball pretty much the same way. Rivercrest winning a state championship a couple years ago, so it's pretty competitive down here.
Yeah, I can think it's the best conference in 3A. It's so tough. It's so athletic. You just gotta play solid every night. You gotta be ready to play.
Sure do. And Piggott Mohawks victorious Cross County tonight. And David, we appreciate you spending time with us, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
David Reynolds of the Piggott basketball team. They're getting underway with their season, 2 games in down there in Piggott. And again, we'll be replaying that Cross County Piggott game today at noon and 6:30. So look forward to that later on today here on YHC. Now we're going to take a break and be back with Chase Young, Dexter 3-sport athlete, but he's going to move on to UT Martin next year to play college baseball, and we've got a segment with him and his coach Brian Becker, so we'll be back with that and some upcoming basketball tournaments in the area coming up next.
Southeast Missouri Mutual Insurance is celebrating our 100th year. We started protecting rural farmers way back in 1910, insuring folks no one else would. Southeast Missouri Mutual Insurance has been a family business for 4 generations, and we continue that tradition today, providing solid home, farm, and commercial insurance at very competitive rates. When the ice storm hit us, we were out there with you. All of our claims were processed within days, and we will continue to provide the best coverage and the best service for the next 100 years. Southeast Missouri Mutual Insurance, a century of service.
At Glenn St. Kennett, we have a lot full of inventory and the best rebates of the year. I'm Danny Ford, owner of Glenn St. We just want the opportunity to talk to you about your next car or truck. For rebates are the best of the year and interest rates the lowest to work with. It's a great time to buy, and our people are excited to help you make the right choice. We realize you have a lot of dealers to choose from, but I can assure you, no one appreciates your business like we do. Glenn St. and Kennett, and God bless our troops.
With an interactive home security system from New Wave, your family comes home to peace of mind. Now we bring you the future of home security. Arm and disarm your system remotely from your office computer or iPhone. Even look in on family or pets with live video from inside your home. In an emergency, our 24/7 alarm monitoring responds with the help you need. Peace of mind wherever you are. Now available from New Wave Communications.
When I was a kid, we didn't have all these wireless devices. We only had one computer plugged into the wall, and we were grateful.
Technology changes fast. Stay ahead with blazing fast internet speeds from New Wave Communications. New Wave delivers the internet with incredible speeds, up to 50 megabits per second. Pick the package that's right for you. New Wave, the area's fastest internet, period.
Kids today don't know how good they have it.
All right, and let's take a look at that interview we had a few days ago with Chase Young. He's the three-sport athlete for the Dexter Bearcats, moving on to the next level in Division I baseball to play for UT Martin next year. So let's take a look. And we're at the Bearcat Event Center along with Chase Young for his signing to play college baseball with UT Martin next year. And Chase, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I know this is probably a lengthy process for you, deciding on what school to go to when it comes to your baseball career. So what was it about UT Martin that once you wanted to go down there and play for them?
Well, they recruited me. They came to watch me play, and I really liked that. I didn't really have to pursue them too much until they came to me, and I feel like it put me in the best place for my future and best opportunities that out of the schools that I picked, and just overall good fit for me and my family.
Sure, and they play out of the Ohio Valley Conference in Division I, so certainly you've got to be pleased that you're going to be able to play at the Division I level.
Right. They actually play a couple games. They try to schedule Ole Miss and Vanderbilt, and they usually try to play some big SEC school once a year. I really like that. I really like being able to play in front of the big crowd and play on the big field, and I also like the conference too. It's a pretty competitive conference.
Sure, man. They're just down the road there in Martin, Tennessee, and going to be able to play close to home too up there at Cape Girardeau against SEMO. So still get some friends and family to come see you.
Yeah, that'd be nice. My family, they'll try to make it down as much as they can, and SEMO, gives them a good chance to make it there, and they can go to Murray as well, and just all around here.
Sure, and you've got a long season. You're a three-sport athlete. You just finished with football, and kind of got roughed up a little bit there, trying to heal up. And you got basketball, and then of course baseball in the spring. So how's your health looking going forward?
Right now I'm just recovering from this, and I should miss maybe the first week of games, but after that I should be good to go, and I'll be fine for the rest of the year and then baseball.
Sure, and you got to be comfortable with the spring. You've already got it out of the way where you're going to school, so you can just enjoy your spring.
It's definitely like a weight off my shoulders, committing early and signing early.
Sure, and again, congratulations, and we'll be looking forward to seeing how you do in the future.
Thank you.
And we're with Dexter baseball coach Brian Becker, and Coach Becker, it's got to be a big day for you to seeing one of your own go on and play at the next level.
Well, it always makes you proud as a coach to see your ball players go on and play at the collegiate level, and Chase is he's one of those players where you could see from a young age he had the skill set that it takes to play at the next level, and you could see this coming a mile away that he was destined to play college baseball.
Sure, and it's good that he's getting this out of the way here in the fall and being able to enjoy his spring season, his last year.
Well, that takes a lot of pressure off the kid. He's not having to worry about, having to have a high batting average or, so many RBIs or, this or that. And he knows going into the season that he's got to impress nobody but himself, and Chase is one of those kids that he's not going to be like, well, I already signed, I don't have to do anything. He's going to be one of those kids that'll do everything he can to help our ball team be the best it can be, and so I'm glad he's got this monkey off his back, and I'll look for him to have a great spring.
Sure, and you played at college baseball at a high level in the SEC with Ole Miss, and what advice were you be able to give to him in his high school career and looking forward to college ball in the next year?
Well, the biggest thing that I tell kids that are going to the next level is to learn how to budget their time. Baseball is there's a lot of travel involved, and you miss classes, and you have to be able to do your your classwork and your baseball and all that, all that other stuff that in college entails. And you just got to know how to budget your time and learn and make good grades. And because if you don't make the grades, you don't get to play. So learn how to budget your time and have a good time playing ball.
Sure. All right, big day here at the Bearcat Event Center with Chase Young and Brian. Appreciate you spending time with us.
All right, thank you very much.
Chase Young signing with UT Martin to play college baseball, and got to talk with Brian Becker as well. Dexter having quite a good baseball team here in the past few years. Look to have a great season lined up this spring as well. So congratulations to Chase Young being able to move his career on to the next level with Division I baseball with Tennessee Martin. And by the way, they play out of the Ohio Valley Conference, same conference as Southeast Missouri State, Murray State. So not going very far from home, and even getting some opportunities for his friends and family to see him play here locally at either Southeast Missouri or Cape Girardeau, or even down in Martin, Tennessee, here locally. So congratulations to Chase Young. And let's take a look at some high school basketball tournaments upcoming here later on this month, and they're starting to release those brackets now. And we've got one from the Campbell Invitational Tournament. We've got Bernie with the top seed coming in to this tournament. The 8th seed is Campbell. In the 4-5 game, we've got Twin Rivers taking on Puxico. The 2-7 game, Holcomb versus East Prairie. And the 3rd seed, Risco, taking on 6th seed Bloomfield. That tournament gets underway Monday the 26th with those top 2 games. And the bottom 2 will be Tuesday the 27th. And the finals will be on Friday the 30th of that week. So we'll be down there in Campbell for that game on the 30th there in Campbell. So we'll be looking forward to that contest the Friday the 30th with that championship game. I'm not sure we'll be able to do that one live, but it'll be replayed over that weekend here on YHC. So we'll be looking forward to that Campbell Invitational Tournament final. Always a good tournament there. Actually, it's a rotating tournament. Campbell, I believe it's Campbell, Bernie, which it was at last year, and I think Hawkins there in the rotation as well, if I'm not mistaken. So a great tournament there to kick off the season for the smaller schools. And usually have some of the best smaller schools there in the tournament. We had a great final last year. I believe that was Holcomb and Risco in that final. Great game, and I'm sure we'll see a great one this year as well down there in Campbell. And taking a look at that Bulldog Classic in South Pemiscot. We've had this for a few weeks now. It gets underway the 26th as well for the boys. We got Crothersville and North Pemiscot in the first round, the 1-8 game. The 2-7 game, Hayti versus Zenith Hornersville. 3 versus 6 is Gosnell versus Gideon. 4 versus 5 is South Pemiscot versus Clarkton. That's the boys tournament. And on the girls side, we've got New Matter County Central taking on Crothersville in the 1-8 game. 2 versus 7, South Pemiscot and Campbell. 3 versus 6, Portageville versus Malden. 4 versus 5, Zenith Hornersville versus Kennett. And those are the games to look forward to here on YHC, or not here on YHC, but here in Southeast Missouri, coming up November 26th, the start for those tournaments. And let's take a break, and we'll be back with some college football matchups and NFL football matchups for the weekend. Also, we're going to talk about the development that we've come up with here at YHC for Southeast Missouri Sports Online, and we'll delve into that in the next segment, so don't go away.
I want to stay connected to you. I like the way you do what you do. All right, okay, you're fine.
Call Audubell Hearing Center at 1-800-499-8786 or visit one of our locations in Dexter and Poplar Bluff, Missouri today.
From every mountainside,
Welcome to NFL Total Access,
the show that takes you inside the locker room and down on the field. With inside access to all 32 teams all year long. NFL Total Access, Monday through Saturday, only on NFL Network.
NFL Network, where football season never ends.
In addition to unlimited calling, New Wave telephone users have a wide range of great phone features available. And now with the help of New Wave Internet, they're even easier to use thanks to our convenient online phone manager. Just log on to your MyWave portal. Now phone features like call forwarding can be set up instantly from any computer. Reliably activate or deactivate your call forwarding. And even set your home phone to ring once when a call is forwarded. Home telephone service made even better with New Wave Communications. Call today.
And we'll start off with an update from Lafayette College and Kentucky. That game took place last night down at, over in Lexington. Lafayette College is the team that Alan Flanagan, former Dexter Bearcat standout, played for, and he moved on to play at Lafayette College, and they took on the third-ranked and defending national champion Kentucky Wildcats last night and took that loss 101-49. A big loss there, but still yet want to give you an update on Alan Flanagan. He played 23 minutes, went 1 of 6 from the field, 4 rebounds, with an assist and steal, and that's 2 points that he scored there last night against Kentucky. So I just want to give you an update on Alan Flanagan and his progress there in Lafayette College. Had a big opponent last night there in Lexington, but Alan doing a great job there, working his way into the rotation. Had 23 minutes, playing over half the game, so just wanted to keep up with Alan Flanagan and his progress there at Lafayette College. Not too many people can say they've went up against the defending national champion and Kentucky Wildcats, so he's certainly making his way there at Lafayette College. And let's take a look at some football games for this weekend, and we'll start out with some college football matchups. 18th ranked USC at 17th ranked UCLA. That's a big Pac-12 game there today. Wake Forest is at 3rd ranked Notre Dame. That'll be later on today. Ole Miss is at 7th ranked LSU. 23rd ranked Texas Tech at 24th ranked Oklahoma State. They're in the Big 12. See, top ranked Kansas State at Baylor, and it's been a while since we've mentioned Kansas State as being top-ranked team in the country, but that is the case currently, and they've got a nice chance to go all the way out. I don't believe Big 12 has a conference championship anymore, so if they win out their schedule, it looks like they're going to be in the driver's seat to play in that national championship game, and they'll take on Baylor at Baylor later on today. And in other games, 13th ranked Stanford at 2nd ranked Oregon. Oregon right there in the driver's seat as well if they can pull out a victory over Stanford and win out in their schedule. Looks like they'll have a conference championship this year due to having 12 teams. So I think Pac-12 will have a conference championship this year. And Missouri will host Syracuse later on today in a non-conference matchup. Arkansas is on the road to Mississippi State, and Mississippi State's kind of slid off the past few weeks. They took a loss to Alabama and then LSU 2 straight weeks, sizable losses, so they go from ranked 15th to out of the rankings in just 2 weeks. So a tough slide for Mississippi State. They've got a test with Arkansas. Arkansas starting to play better in their season, so we'll see how that plays out later on today. And also we have the local teams. Arkansas State's at Troy, and Arkansas State 5-1 in their conference and 7-3 on the year, I believe, and they're in sole possession of first place in the Sun Belt Conference. So hopefully they can continue their winning ways in the conference later on today at Troy. Now at Southeast Missouri State, they'll be taking on Murray State in Murray, Kentucky later on today, and That's an Ohio Valley Conference matchup. And those are the college football matchups later on today to look forward to. And let's take a look at some NFL football matchups starting tomorrow. The Jets will be on the road at St. Louis to take on the Rams. The Browns at the Cowboys. Buccaneers on the road in Carolina to take on the Panthers. The Arizona Cardinals taking on the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. Atlanta was the last remaining undefeated team, but they took a loss last week and try to get back to their winning ways against the Arizona Cardinals tomorrow. And also the Packers will take on the Lions in Detroit, and this was probably coming into the season, you'd think this would be a big-time game, but the Detroit Lions have really struggled this year. I really thought they were going to come in and really do well coming off their season last year, making a playoff run, but hasn't been the case so far this year. And the Packers got off to a little slow start. They're really starting to pick things up, so we'll see how it all plays out there in Detroit for this weekend. And in other games, the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East taking on the Washington Redskins. And the Eagles really struggling. They've really built up that roster going into last season. Really thought this year they would really build on that roster, but hasn't been the case. Michael Vick really struggling, and they just can't really seem to find a win there in the NFC East. And they really need one this weekend against the Washington Redskins. They've got a hope of making the playoffs. So if they really drop this one, it's going to be a really tough for them to make the playoffs. Highly unlikely if they lose this game this weekend that they'll make the playoffs as a wild card berth. And going into last week, it was the Cowboys and the Eagles. Whoever won or ever lost that game was pretty much counted out for the playoffs. Certainly, if the Eagles drop that one this weekend, it's going to be highly unlikely that they make the playoffs this year, and probably seeing some changes there in Philadelphia if that's the case. Michael Vick really struggling. You might see a change there at quarterback, and even Andy Reid, been there in Philadelphia well over 10 years. You might see him leave the Eagles as well. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow in Washington. And in other games, the Chargers taking on the Broncos in Denver. That's an AFC West matchup, and if it's anything like their previous matchup this season, it's going to be something to see. That was the game that the Broncos come down from, I think, 24 points in that game and won in the end. Big comeback by the Broncos. So we'll see how that matchup turns out tomorrow as well. And in other games, we have the Colts at the Patriots, and a big rivalry between those two teams, probably not as heightened as it has been this year due to Peyton Manning moving on from the Colts, but Andrew Luck stepping in and doing quite well this year as a rookie star quarterback. And both teams are 6-3, so usually we thought coming into this year this wouldn't be a big matchup, but both teams 6-3, so it's going to be pretty closely contested there in New England this weekend. So we'll see how that plays out. Ravens at the Steelers in the NFC North. Ben Roethlisberger's going to be out. He's got an injury, might be out upwards to 3 to 4 weeks. So Byron Leftwich is going to step in for the Steelers. We'll see how that plays out there in Pittsburgh in that big NFC or AFC North matchup. Also, the Bears taking on the 49ers in Monday Night Football. And Jay Cutler will be out for the Bears, suffering that concussion. He will not play against the 49ers. So the Bears are going to have a tough test on the road without their star quarterback against the 49ers. And those are the games to look forward to this weekend in college and professional football. And let's take a look at some games upcoming here on YHC. We had Osceola and Piggott last night, live here on YHC. It'll be replaying today and through the weekend. And in a couple of weeks, we've got Charleston at Dexter, live from the Bearcat Events Center on Tuesday the 27th. So look forward to that first game here on YHC in Missouri. And it's both openers for Charleston and Dexter. Look forward to that Tuesday the 27th. And a big matchup, Charleston defending Class 3 state champions. So we'll be looking forward to that game here on YHC. And that Friday, as we mentioned, the Campbell Invitational Tournament Finals on the 30th. That Friday, we'll be looking forward to that. Then the next week, December 4th, that Tuesday, we'll be down in Kennett for Crothersville at Kennett. Should be a great Boot Hill Conference matchup there in Kennett, Tuesday the 4th. That'll be live as well. And that Thursday, the next Thursday, Delta C7's at Risco. That'll be live from the Risco Roy Hahn Gymnasium. And that's a Tri-County Conference matchup there. Also, we've got Malden at Campbell that Friday, the next night. There in Campbell probably won't be live, but we'll have that replaying over the weekend. And the next week on Tuesday, Jackson at Dexter, and that'll be live here on YHC. And those are some upcoming games to look forward to here on YHC. We'll be getting into our basketball schedule pretty heavily starting in a couple weeks with that November 27th game. And now let's move on to the development that we've been working on for the past month or so, and finally got it launched and online, ready to go. And it's SEMOsportZone.com, and that's the development we've come up with online to really market Southeast Missouri sports and also plug in all of our live broadcasts online. So there it is, SEMOsportZone.com. It's ready to go to. Go and check it out. And that's the live look at it online, SEMOsportZone.com. You can get all the up-to-date scores for Southeast Missouri, all the brackets for upcoming basketball tournaments, and we'll be plugging in our daily Sports Zone segments that we have on our newscast each day on there as well, and we'll be uploading videos of Southeast Missouri sports and also Southeast Missouri State athletics, as you see there, a press conference of one of their recent basketball games, and we'll have all kinds of updates on there as well. And if you go down to the bottom of the page, you can take a look at our Twitter and Facebook feed. As you see there on the right half of the screen, we've got our Twitter and Facebook feed, and you can go to Twitter and Facebook, look up SEMO Sports Zone, and follow us on our Twitter page and on our Facebook page, and you're free to go on there and update anything that you would like. That's what we're really opening up this site to, and using social media. So if you've got an update of a contest, go to our Twitter feed, go to our Facebook page, update anything that's going on here in Southeast Missouri sports. Also, we've got an email for it, sports@semosportzone.com. Easy to remember there, sports@semosportzone.com. If you want to email any updates, scores, information, send it to that email, or even go on our social media pages, Twitter and Facebook, and update anything there as well. So we're going to really tie in anything going on here in the southeast area of Missouri and bring it to our website there on SEMOsportZone.com. So get involved. We want you to stay involved when it comes to Southeast Missouri sports, and be looking forward to a great asset to Southeast Missouri sports, and that's SEMOsportZone.com that we're being associated with. We're going to have contributors there providing columns and information to share with all the viewers and sports fans of Southeast Missouri sports. So spread the word. Go on our social media pages, SEMO Sports Zone on Facebook and Twitter. Follow us and like us online, and keep up with everything happening through SEMOsportZone.com. And we ask everyone to be interactive. Share anything that's going on out there, any scores, updates, so we can basically be the central source for updates and information for Southeast Missouri sports. So there it is, SEMOsportZone.com. Go check it out and get involved, and we welcome you to be involved through our new edition of here at YHC and for all of Southeast Missouri. So get involved. And that's all we have for you today here on YHC, the Sports Roundtable. And worth noting that we're going to plug all of our shows into that site as well. Our Sports Roundtable is going to be plugged in there. The show is going to be live through the website as well, and all of our broadcasts, live broadcasts, will be plugged in there live as well and archived through that page as well. So it's going to be a great source to go and watch games, either live or archived. Watch the Sports Zone, the daily sports show, as well as the roundtable each week. It's going to be available there as well. So a great source. Be sure to check it out, SEMOsportZone.com. And that's all we have for you today, and we appreciate you for tuning in as always. Now, you need to look forward to next week on the roundtable we'll have our official basketball preview. We'll have many guests in, and we'll also have segments with Southeast Missouri coaches throughout the area. We're going to have plenty of conversations to get to. So it's going to be a 2-hour program next week. We've got a lot to get to with this basketball preview. We're going to have contributors come in for high school boys basketball as well as high school girls basketball. So expect a 2-hour program, upwards to 2 hours for next week. Here on the Roundtable, we'll have many coaches in, contributors, talking about the high school basketball season coming up for both boys and girls. So be sure to tune in next week for a special edition basketball preview here on the Roundtable. So look forward to that. Don't miss it. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Be sure to come back in on Saturday, live at 10 a.m., ready to go with a basketball preview. You won't want to miss it. We'll have all the up-to-date information with all these teams, some analysis coming into this year, coming off last year, and it's for both boys and girls. So you don't want to miss next Saturday's Roundtable here on YHC. And also go to SeamoreSportsZone.com. Watch it live through our website there as well. So a great chance to tune in and get all the up-to-date analysis for this upcoming basketball season. And until next week, I'm Tyler Wagner. We wish you to have a great Thanksgiving this coming Thursday. Don't forget to come back Saturday right here on the Roundtable and for your basketball preview. And until then, have a great Thanksgiving and week.